You know that feeling, right? That slow, creeping dread when you finally realize you've been living in a fairy tale of your own making, while the other person was just playing make-believe. This is the story of Maya, and her 8-month dance with a man who perfected the art of keeping her exactly where he wanted her, in limbo. It started like a dream, as these things often do. Rohan was charming, witty, and had this way of looking at her that made her feel like the only woman in the room. Their first few dates. Electrifying. He'd text her every morning, wish her good night, and their conversations flowed like they'd known each other for years. Maya was completely smitten. And why wouldn't she be? He was attentive, he listened, he made her laugh until her sides hurt. She thought, finally, this is it. This is real. But even in those early weeks, the cracks were there, tiny hairline fractures she chose to ignore. He never introduced her to his friends. "Oh, they're just busy," he'd say. "We'll hang out soon." Soon never came. When she brought up meeting her own friends, he'd be enthusiastic for a moment, then mysteriously unavailable when the time came. First sign, dismissed. Then came the classic line, delivered with a smile that was just a little too smooth, "Let's just see where this goes, yeah." Maya, bathed in the glow of his attention, heard potential, future, exciting journey. What she should have heard was, "I want all the benefits of a girlfriend, with none of the commitment." But she was high on hope, high on the idea of them. She told herself, good things take time. I'll be patient. Patience, however, quickly turned into a one-way street. He called, she answered. He asked, she was there. Late-night texts. She was awake, heart pounding. Last-minute plans. Her calendar was cleared faster than you could say, Netflix and chill. But when she tried to make plans, when she needed him, suddenly he was swamped with work, catching up on sleep, or out with his boys. She became his convenient option, always available, never a priority. Her friends started noticing. "Maya, what are you two?" they'd ask, their voices laced with concern. She'd always have an answer ready, a defense mechanism built on a shaky foundation of, "He's just busy," or "We're taking it slow." Inside, though, a knot of anxiety tightened with each passing week. She'd scroll through his Instagram, looking for clues, for any sign that she was more than just a fleeting moment in his life. Nothing. Just photos with his friends, his hobbies, his world, a world she wasn't truly invited into. 8 months. 8 months of waking up to a pit in her stomach, wondering if today would be the day he finally called her his girlfriend. 8 months of analyzing every text, every casual touch, every fleeting glance for hidden meaning. 8 months of being a secret, a placeholder, a convenience. It was a slow drip of emotional torture, disguised as romance. The breaking point arrived, not with a bang, but with a whimper of betrayal. It was her birthday. Not a big party, just a quiet dinner with her closest friends and family. She'd told Rohan about it weeks in advance, hoping, praying he'd finally make a real appearance. He'd promised to be there, a casual, "Yeah, I'll try to swing by after work." At 8 p.m., an hour into dinner, she got a text, "So sorry, babe. Got caught up with a client. Next time." No call. No genuine apology. Just a throwaway text, while she sat there, her heart shrinking to the size of a pea. That night, something shifted. The hope finally extinguished, replaced by a cold, hard clarity. This wasn't seeing where it goes. This was him seeing how long he could get away with it. And she, poor naive Maya, had allowed it. She saw every ignored sign flash before her eyes, the unmet friends, the vague plans, the unequal effort, the constant deflection. She felt stupid, used, and utterly exhausted. The next day, she called him. Her voice, usually soft and eager with him, was firm. "Rohan," she started, "we need to talk." "What are we?" He tried to deflect, of course. "What do you mean, babe?" "We're great." But she held her ground. "No, Rohan. What is this, specifically? Are we in a relationship? Or are we not?" There was a long silence on the other end. Then, a sigh. "Look, Maya," he said, his voice suddenly devoid of all its usual charm, "I really like you. But you know I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. I thought we were just enjoying each other's company." It hit her like a punch to the gut, but also, strangely, like a splash of cold water. 8 months. 8 months of her life, her emotions, her hope, reduced to enjoying each other's company. The answer was no. Not yet, not maybe someday. Just no. She hung up, tears streaming down her face, but for the first time in months, she felt a strange sense of relief. The fairy tale was over. The charade was done. And in that moment, she realized the most important thing wasn't a label from him, but clarity for herself. She deserved more than half-hearted affection and vague promises. She deserved someone who was as sure about her as she was about them. So, if you're stuck in your own situationship, constantly wondering, constantly hoping for a tomorrow that never arrives, ask yourself this: are you waiting for a prince, or are you just playing court jester in someone else's casual kingdom? Because darling, your crown is worth far more than a maybe.